Hello, Every Nation Church family. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to take a moment to share with you our regathering plan as it stands at this time. Just in a few days, there's going to be the next level of opening in Ontario. Premier Ford has just announced that the gathering number will go from 5 to 10. That's important for us because as we've contemplated our levels as a church, we're really going to base it on not so much the large public gatherings, but really the smaller group gatherings. As we've gone through the pandemic, we've seen how important our smaller gatherings have been to us as a church community, and I think it's something that we don't want to lose. So as we're reopening, we're really taking that as our primary consideration, and that is building back the actual community, starting with smaller numbers and growing to the larger. It's so good for me to not only lead a church, but to belong to a church. And a shout out to Mercedes, my small group leader, for all that she's done to help me feel connected. And so let's get into this. The first level, which is actually starting for us June 12th, will be what we're calling level 1, small gatherings. And this is when groups of 10 people are allowed. So again, this starts June 12th. So we want to encourage Sunday service in-person watch parties. So maybe you might want to get together with one other family or have a couple people over and watch the online service together. Our small groups starting after Friday, anytime next week, we'll be able to meet in person if there's smaller groups. Again, it's going to be as you feel comfortable. And I really want to emphasize this. We're not telling you that you have to meet at these levels, but we're just saying this is our plan. And if you feel comfortable, then we would like you to participate in this way. And finally, a small worship team and tech volunteers added. And so we've been just doing our online church service with just a skeleton, a little tiny crew in our basement, just 5 people. And so we'll want to be able to add a couple more people to be able to help out. Okay, so on to the next level, which we're calling medium level gatherings. And this is when groups of 25 people are allowed. Sunday service in-person watch parties continue, but maybe with a little larger group. We'll be able to continue with in-person small groups as the small group leaders and the people of the small groups feel comfortable. And then larger worship teams and a few more tech volunteers will be able to be added for our online church service on Sundays. Level 3 would be larger gatherings, and that's when groups of 50 people are allowed. We'll continue with Sunday service in-person watch parties, but now with a little larger group. Sunday service with up to 50 people in attendance. In-person small groups continue, and at this point we'll be able to have more or less a regular worship team and tech volunteers. And then finally, level 4, we're just calling our new normal. It's when groups of 150 or more are allowed. We'll have Sunday service back at Innis Town Hall, depending on when that venue becomes available again. Small groups will resume, but I think with a combination of in-person and Zoom, one of the things that we've gotten back feedback from our small group leaders is that they've actually had increased attendance because of the commuting and traveling to and from small groups. So a lot of them are proposing a combination of in-person and Zoom, which we feel is just fine. We'll be able to have our full worship team and tech volunteers, and then also all our other church-wide events, barbecues, and stuff like that will be able to resume. Let me just say a word on this fourth phase. The venue that we meet at, Innis Town Hall, is actually part of the University of Toronto, and so it'll really depend when we can meet again when the university begins to open up for large groups, and we don't really know when that will be. So far we haven't had any word from Innis. Some people have asked when we presented this at our congregational update a couple of weeks ago, where will we meet? Okay, online service broadcasts will continue at the Thompson's basement until we get to level 2. Sunday service watch parties will meet in homes, condo party rooms, and other venues as they are available. Small groups in homes or wherever leaders decide that they would like to hold them. And then finally, we're still investigating a venue for level 2. 25 people, and level 3, 50 persons. So we would ask you to be in prayer as we look for places where we can move out of the Thompson's basement into larger venues where we can live stream our service and have some people in attendance at those live stream services. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. You can just use our general church email, hello@everynationgta.org. Well, we're excited about our city reopening again. I know for me, I'm really looking forward to a haircut. It is really getting long. God bless everybody.